My parents gave my college fund to my brother. Years later, they wanted my help. I grew up knowing my younger brother Jake was a favorite. When we were kids, it wasn't obvious at first. My parents always insisted they loved us equally. But looking back, the signs were everywhere. If Jake forgot his homework, my mom would rush it to school. If I forgot mine, I'd get a lecture about responsibility. If Jake got a C on a test, my parents would say he tried his best. If I got a B, they'd ask what happened. I learned pretty early that the rules were different for him. Still, I never expected what happened when I turned 18. I got accepted into a good university. It wasn't Ivy League or anything, but it was a solid school with a strong engineering program. For years, my parents had talked about the college fund they'd been saving for me, so when I sat down with them to discuss tuition, I wasn't worried. That's when my dad cleared his throat and said, "There's something we need to tell you." I immediately knew something was wrong. My mom started crying. My parents explained that most of my college fund was gone. Apparently, Jake had gotten into trouble during his senior year of high school. He crashed a car, got involved with the wrong crowd, and racked up thousands of dollars in legal fees and damages. To help him get his life back on track, my parents had used almost all the money they had saved for my education. I remember staring at them, waiting for the punchline. There wasn't one. The money was gone. Years of savings, gone. And nobody had thought to tell me until a few months before college started. I asked what I was supposed to do. My dad shrugged and said, "We know you're smart. You'll figure something out." To this day, that sentence still makes my blood boil. Jake got my future handed to him after making terrible decisions. I got told to figure it out. So I did. I took out loans, worked nights, worked weekends, missed parties, missed vacations, while my friends enjoyed college life. I was stocking shelves at a grocery store until am. Meanwhile, Jake was living at home rent-free. My parents paid his phone bill, his insurance, his gas money, everything. Whenever I complained, they said he was going through a difficult time. Years passed. I graduated, got a good job, started paying off my student loans. Eventually, I bought a small house. Life was finally going well. Then everything changed. About 2 years ago, my dad had a serious health issue.
He couldn't work anymore. Money became tight. Very tight. One evening, my parents invited me over for dinner. I already knew something was up. After dessert, my mom looked at me and said, "We need help." Apparently, they had fallen behind on mortgage payments. A lot. The bank was threatening foreclosure. Then my dad asked the question, "Would you be willing to loan us $40,000? I honestly thought I misheard him. $40,000. The same people who had emptied my college fund for Jake were now asking me to save them. I asked whether they'd talk to Jake. Silence. Then my mom said, "He's struggling right now." Of course he was. Jake was always struggling. Jake was always the exception. Jake was always the reason everyone else had to sacrifice. I laughed. Actually laughed. Then I told them no. Not maybe. Not later. No. I reminded them what happened to my college fund. I reminded them of the years I spent drowning in debt because of their decision. My mom started crying. My dad got angry. He said I was punishing them for a mistake they made years ago. I told him it stopped being a mistake when they spent the next decade treating Jake like a helpless child. The argument got ugly. I left. Since then, half my family has called me selfish. My aunt said family should help family. My cousin said I should be the bigger person. Funny how nobody ever told Jake to be the bigger person. Last week, I found out my parents may lose the house. Part of me feels guilty. Part of me remembers every student loan payment I've made. And part of me wonders why I'm expected to clean up a mess I didn't create. So, am I wrong for refusing to help my parents after they gave away my college fund to my brother?